Welcome to another edition of Chatterbox Clicker. This is a Jacksonville Jaguars preview. This is kind of special to me. As you can see, I've actually coached for both teams. So this is a game that I know a lot of people on both sides of the ball, coaches, players. It's kind of special to see two teams like this play against each other. I had a chance at Jacksonville to go back to Cincy and coach against the Bengals on a Thursday night, week 4 of 21. We went up there, had every chance in the world to beat the Bengals that year, just came up short. So it is special to me. So, again, I know a lot of these players. I know I worked with Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne and some of those guys. So it's some of the stuff I'm going to talk about. I do know these players enough to say, yeah, that I understand kind of what they're trying to get done and the type of player they are. So we'll start with this. Jacksonville is 8-3 on the year, but they're 3-3 at home, which is very odd because usually kind of the other way around. Most people are really good at home, struggle on the road, whatever the case is. 8-3, they're 5-0 on the road, but they're 3-3 at home down there in Jacksonville. And I can tell you that the atmosphere of a Jacksonville Jaguars game, the year I was there, it had some juice to it until towards the end. But I can tell you that that fan base down there wants to do well, and I think there's a lot of Bengals fans still traveling, from what I've been told, down to Jacksonville. So it'd be interesting to see how this happens. Let's take a look at Jacksonville's offense. We'll start out with the run game. Talking about Travis Etienne, TJ. He goes by TJ, Travis Etienne, Travis Jr. So he's number 1. And what you'll see here is, he's not the biggest guy in the world. But he's got toughness, and he's very, very quick, and he's got some speed, and he's kind of like it's kind of like a big receiver playing running back. And he's got those kind of skills. And you'll see here, watch him when he gets the ball here. He makes the cut. Watch him just duck his head right here and just kind of just run through and just keeps on running. He's not really necessarily looking at anything. He's getting through that. And then, okay, he's going to square you up. And this is what he was good at. And again, he was hurt the year I was there. He had broken his foot in the second preseason game against the Saints and did not play in the 21 season, but he was in every meeting. He was at every practice. So I was around this kid a lot, and he's a special player. Here's another look here. Now this is a flip play, so they're going to fake the jet sweep, and they're going to jab, and then he's going to flip the ball over here. Trevor's going to flip the ball to him. So he just hangs long enough, and you're doing that because you can get these guys to, bite down. But watch the speed that Etienne has right here. And again, if anybody's ever wondering how to pronounce his name, it is E-T-N. It's 3 letters, E-T-N. And he does go by TJ. He is got some speed, so he's a guy you're going to have to pay attention to. I'll show you in the pass game here in a little while. Now, the third play I got, again, this is Wildcat, so they will put Etienne in the Wildcat, and they're going to run like a play here, but they're going to run it almost looks like a reverse. So, like, if the quarterback was under center and he faked and they brought this guy in reverse, it's the same blocking here as a reverse here, and they're going to bring him around like this, like a little whirly bird. But he's running it from Wildcat. And again, there's Trevor's up here. Trevor Lawrence is up here. So they got the quarterback up here, Wildcat. But they do have all this stuff in the system. And again, it's a system that is based upon the players. It's based upon it's not a system built on this is what we're gonna do. I don't care who's playing for us. They're gonna tweak the system based upon the players that they have. So you can see that with ETN. Now I want to point out this. This is Calvin Ridley, number 0. I think everybody's known who he is. But again, if you watch this play, it's the same exact play I just showed you. But instead of ETN running it from here, they're going to do this. Whirly bird him around. It's the same exact play. But again, you're getting the ball into Ridley's hands. Now, again, Ridley is one of those guys that's like, he's got a lot of juice to him too. So they find ways to get the ball. They also have Dearness Johnson, which I'll show you here in just a second in the pass game. But they do have another back, number 25, Dearness Johnson. But again, these guys, Cam Robinson, these guys that are down in here, I mean, they're good offensive linemen. They're very, very, I'd say they're upper level offensive linemen that they've got on the team. Now, looking at their pass game, this is ETN up here. So as you see here, this is him. This is number 1 right there at the top. He's actually, coming out here and aligning out wide. So when a corner stays on a running back, it's some form of zone. Well, they're going to play cover 2. Well, this safety's going to bite up just enough. And I actually used this play in the Pittsburgh preview, talking about their defense, about how you can run past Pittsburgh's defense. Well, again, there's ETN running past Pittsburgh's defense, and Trevor just putting a good ball on him here because that guy bit up. I'm not really 100% sure what he's biting up there on, but again, enough speed to get things done. Trevor Lawrence got a good arm. He's getting better understanding the game because you could see growth from 16, quite a bit of growth actually. Now, Dearness Johnson, this is the running back here. He's a guy I believe was at Tampa, but I could be wrong about that. But you can see all they're doing is they're just running, a pivot route and a flat here. But when Trevor Lawrence decides to scramble, they drop the running back here. And again, he's a good player, and he's been playing more for them recently. They've got another guy, Bigsby, as a running back. But again, there's you can see right there. I mean, they're using their players in all different positions and stuff. So it's a very well put together roster. And I think Trent Baalke, the GM, who I got to know pretty well there, has done a good job of getting the skill guys. That's kind of what we lacked in 21 under Urban Meyer and when we were playing there. We didn't have those dudes there. We had James Robinson and Carlos Hyde right there at running back, but now they've got ETN. They've got Evan Ingram right here. So number 17, Evan Ingram, really good player, really good tight end. He's a pass catching tight end. He's not necessarily, he will get in there and run block, don't get me wrong, but he is a weapon in the pass game as a tight end. And they use him well, obviously. I think he's kind of found a second coming for his career here at Jacksonville. So that he'll be a guy kind of like Freiermuth. You need to pay attention to him. He's not going to necessarily be the guy that you're trying to take away the fastball you're trying to take away, but he is a guy. Now here's Ridley in the pass game. And again, Calvin Ridley is, you'll see him here. He's running just a crossing route, but you can see the speed in which he plays with. I mean, he plays with that, just consistent speed, and you just got to be able to, if you're playing in man, like they're, you can see here they're trying to play in man. If you give him that much cushion right there, that's tough. Now watching back behind this, they ran the ball 30 times against the Texans for like 80 yards, which is whatever, 2.5 yards a carry. But the thing is, they run it enough to where watch everybody have to bite. They all have to bite. And again, when you run the ball 30 times against this team right here that they just played last week, they beat this team. They beat the Texans 24-21. The Texans actually clanked a field goal off the crossbar to end the game. So it was a very close game, very back and forth game. And I think the Bengals fans understand what the Texans are all about these days. But you can see right here, like they're going to bring across and they're going to go max pro and bring him out in the flat. You got a tight end coming back over here. So you got max pro, really a 3-man route when it's all said and done. When you talk about the back getting out, But they do a good job of that, of keeping the run game going so that you can open the play action passes up. I think that's where the Bengals have struggled right now, is that the run game doesn't stay going long enough to allow the play actions to continue to be built upon. Christian Kirk. I think everybody knows about Christian Kirk, one of Texas A&M's finest. Got to throw that in there, but you can see him right here. He's still got some juice. I mean, this guy's played for a few years now, but when you play, you can see they're playing in man right here. He's running across the logo. And again, I mean, he's got a lot of juice left in him, Christian Kirk does. So he's a guy. I mean, you got him, you got Ridley, you got ETN. I mean, there's a lot of dudes out there that are there's a lot of speed. You got Evan Ingram at the tight end position. So, they got to come up with a pretty good plan of how to handle these things. Now, Jacksonville does have an issue with interceptions, and some of these are overthrows. And you'll see right here, this is just like a choice. So he's going to clear out. He's going to run like a little choice route, but I believe he's going to sit. And you see he overthrows it. There's pressure coming. Yeah, there's some pressure right there. But there's nobody in his face right here. So he needs to, setting his feet and getting his throw off. You can see right here, he doesn't really get his feet set. And it's an overthrow right there. And it ends up going right into the Colts defender right there. So, again, maybe he felt hot. I don't know what that was all about. Now, this is a scramble, but you can see they're going to get pressure from Bosa. So if you can get pressure on Lawrence, that's something that can allow him to, because right there, he's going to start scrambling. Now, the crazy thing is he's going to try to throw it. He's going to try to check it down right here to Bigsby here, number 4. And should he have caught that? Maybe. But, again, a little bit of an overthrow, and it ends up going right to – but again, you've got that right there is what causes those kind of plays. And right there, yes, that I think that probably should have been caught. Is that on coaching? Probably not. That's an execution error by a professional athlete that should have made that play. So, and again, that's something that I know as a coach, sometimes you want to get upset about things and all that. Now, this was 4th and 15. They are down 27-3. I get it. And I think he's just throwing this up right here because he knows right now it's 4th and 15. And he's just trying to make a play. But this is a well underthrown ball that ends up going right to their guy. And again, I'm not really 100% sure who he's throwing to. But again, that's happening right there. So you can see right here, he's laid off the ball. Something wasn't right with the snap count. So, again, there's ways. And, again, for some odd reason, at home, they're 3-3. And it's kind of odd that you see that happen with such a really a well-put-together team. And in the last couple plays I got here, they had some sacks. Some of the sacks that are given up. Now, as good of a player as Travis Etienne is, he is like I told you, he is a smaller guy. He's more of a, like I said, he's built almost like a receiver. You can see how kind of he's a thinner guy. Like he doesn't have a lot of thickness to him. And when you get a bigger linebacker going up against ETN right here, at times that's gonna happen. And you can see right here, like they're playing these pick games, and you get Tyler Shatley kind of on his back, falling backwards. Robinson right here trying to take him over, and he doesn't quite get him all the way. But that's the reason right there. I believe that this sack happened is more on Travis right there, of not really getting on the linebacker. I know Bernie Parmalee, the running back coach, man, he works. I mean, he works one-on-one pass rush. I mean, the protection techniques. I mean, he does a lot of work with that. So I know those running backs are getting a ton of work there. They just got to get it done. It's one of those things they just got to do because I know they're getting the work at it, and they're well coached. Now this right here, this is very similar to what Cincinnati ran against Pittsburgh. Okay, they got I believe a sack on Pittsburgh on the same pressure. The tight end was actually over here, so it was actually like a will free safety. But They're going to bring two guys inside over here. And if you look here, he doesn't really see it until late. And this is what the Bengals brought almost the exact same pressure. So bring him here. You can see here. And that's that voided pressure. But you can see right here, he sees it late. And even let's say ETN actually blocked him. You still got him free. So again, you can get pressure in on these guys. It can happen with their offense. I'm telling you, their offense has been a little inconsistent. And again, that kind of goes back to, like I said, they're 3-3 at home. Not exactly sure what's going on with that. That's very odd, but it's one of those things where they just have to. The Bengals defense has got to take care of the skill guys. The run game, they're going to try to run it. So you need to put your guys up there and tell your guys up front, listen, y'all got to stop the run with the front six, basically, because we need to put the rest of our attention on the rest of these other guys that are outside. Now, if you put pressure on Trevor Lawrence and try to mess with their O-line and their protections a little bit, you might be able to get home a few times. But I know they're well coached up front. They're well coached on the O-line. So again, they'll adjust up front. I promise you that they're one of the better coached offensive lines in the league. So I'll leave it at that. But they gotta get those skill guys covered if the Bengals want a chance, defensively in this game. So now as we look at Jacksonville's defense, Jacksonville's defense, very, very, very quick, very aggressive up here. Very quick and aggressive. They've got good players back here, very aggressive right here. So looking at the TFLs right here, this is Angelo Blackson. This is a big dude now. This guy right here, number 90. Humongous. Man, I didn't realize how big he was. He was not there when I was there. But he's 6'4", 318. He's a ninth-year guy at Auburn, so they apparently picked. But, I mean, this big man, I'm just one example, but this guy has wrecked shop on some things. That kind of looks familiar right there if you're a Bengals fan to the Pittsburgh game when Mixon ran over here and had dudes in his face. So, I mean, you got to get those guys taken care of up front. They are very aggressive, and they will move. So the movement factor is one of the biggest things. The Bengals O-line, run game, pick up the movement. Be ready for slants. Be ready for stunts because apparently that's what people are doing to them right now. So they need to work those, make stuff up in practice if they need to, and clean those things up as they go forward. All right, looking at a couple of interceptions that they gave up. Now this is against Pittsburgh, and you can see right here this is just Tampa 2. And Tampa 2, remember I've told you about Tampa 2 before. You got your two deep safeties. You got your kind of linebacker that plays in that deep middle, and you got your other four defenders down here. Now, the hole in Tampa 2, and you saw it against with the Bengals. Remember Logan Wilson turned this way against Pittsburgh, and they hit Freiermuth right there. Well, if you look, he turns this way for just a second. Well, when that guy stops, there's no reason for this guy to keep playing there. So he turns his hips and gets deep right here. And right here, you got the safety playing over the top. They're trying to hit that same pass that they hit against the Bengals. That's the same pass. Honestly, that's the same route. Now it's a different combination down here, but it's the same route right here. Because when you get this guy crossing, he turned. If this guy would have kept going like this and he would have gone like this, like they did against the Bengals, this guy wouldn't be there. This guy would probably be right about here and then trying to adjust like he did against like Logan Wilson did. So again, they got guys that, they sometimes you just gotta, make a play. Now, this one here, tips and overthrows. So think about how many tips that the Bengals had that fell into Jamar Chase's hands. But I want you to watch. See how the quarterback's looking over here first? Well, it doesn't allow these guys to necessarily break on these passes as quickly. But when this guy runs in here, he's going to come in here. It's actually going to bounce off of his hands and they're very opportunistic, if you want to call it that. Very opportunistic defense. And you can see here they actually get in for the touchdown. So, you got to make sure if these balls are tipped up like this, like they were the other day, and I'm telling you, they got lucky about 3 times in that game with some tips and balls going through hands of defenders against the Steelers. So with this Jaguars team, they're very opportunistic, and they will take advantage of that. Now, I've got 5 more plays talking about their defense, and they're all sacks. And there's some things that they're doing that are very, very difficult on an offense. So this is an overload front. So there's 3 guys on this side of the center. There's another guy up here, Josh Allen, that's down. You got 2 linebackers that are mugged up in there, and you got an edge threat over here. You only got, at this point now, you've got 5 blockers because they just sent that guy out. You've got 5 blockers. Now, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. So those 5 guys have got to decipher which 5 of those are we going to block. Well, guess how many they bring? They brought 6 and then dropped a guy out late. So with that being said, they got to be ready. If they're going to do 5-man protection, they got to be ready for they've got to be ready for hot routes. This is 3rd and 7. So again, you got Josh Allen. Now, why are they not blocking Josh Allen? People are going to say, well, the Bengals didn't block TJ Watt. Well, you've got your back leaving on this side, so you're probably hot on this side of the formation. So what you do is you say, if you're hot on this side of formation, you're going to let the widest guy go, which is what they're doing right here. But C.J. Stroud's got to understand right now, and so does 26 right, Singletary. He got to understand if that guy's coming off the edge free, that ball should be thrown right there. So those are some things that they've got to understand. Like right there, I don't think Singletary had any clue that he was hot. And again, you can't, you got one of the better players in the league, and Josh Allen, who I believe was player of the week, AFC player of the week or something recently. Now this one right here, Trayvon Walker. So everybody remembers this guy. I believe he was the 2nd pick in the draft, or first, maybe. You know what? I think he was the 1st pick in the draft. When he first pick in the draft, and then Hutchinson was the 2nd pick in the draft. But that's him right there, 44. I'm telling you, man, he's living up. Like, this kid's gonna be good. And if you watch him, they do these like TEs like this a lot. And again, it's movement. And when you watch him just come in and do that, and then if you look over here, it's the same thing. Josh Allen. So this is like a saw blitz. So you got guys off the edge and you got double TEs. That's a ton of movement right there. That's hard to pick up. I don't care who you are. Watch the running back right here. I want you to watch him. He doesn't know who to block. You got a tight end over here blocking too. I mean, there's a lot of movement going on here, and they end up getting the sack. But again, you've got Trayvon Walker right here. You got Josh Allen here. You've got guys blitzing off the edge, TEs. This thing is one of those deals where you've got to work this stuff all week long. You can't just let this stuff. Hopefully we'll just build a wall and we'll get in there and pick it up. Now again, I talked about 44 here with Trayvon Walker. Again, you got another TE right here, and it's one of those things, man. You got to be able to, like, if you watch 73 here, see how wide Trayvon Walker is and how wide this guy is. This is where 73 needs to set a little bit more vertical, and he'll set out. That way, if he does go up the field, he's in position now to kick back and kick back. But you see right here, see how far out 73 sets too far out right here. 75 setting where he needs to. 73 needs to be about right here. If 73 would set back to about right there, and he comes around, he can kick back in, take him over. 75 then goes in and blocks him. But they're not able to get that done right there. And again, that's something that, and again, with him setting so wide right here, watch this guy. This guy even comes free. So there is something to that. There's some techniques that need to be worked against teams like this. They need to understand, like I said, when look how wide they are. When both of them are that wide, you better be ready for that. I mean, that's just almost day one install right there when you're an offensive lineman and you're playing really good rushers. That's what Lawrence Taylor used to do. That's what, if you go watch some of those things back in the day. I mean, I worked with a coach that had that whole thing right there was called a Giants set for a reason. It was called that because of Lawrence Taylor. Now, Josh Allen, I was with this guy. I'm just telling you, man, that this guy is as good as advertised. Number 41. Ironically, a little story. We played Buffalo in 21, and we won the game because Josh Allen intercepted Josh Allen. So I thought that was kind of cool. It was cool for us too because we won the game. But again, look, there's your same issue right here. Look, wide guy, get there's another guy here. But just set a little bit vertical, set out, allow this guy to come here. He kicks back in, he can take him over, but they don't do that. And again, they even got the center right here. Look at this. They even got the center over here, and he beats him. And then Roy Robertson, he's got another name. Roy Robertson Harris, number 95. He was there. He's a good player too. He's a guy that you got to pay attention to. And then the last one I got here, this is when you've got two really, really good players. You've got Josh Allen and Walker over here, and they say, who's going to meet at the quarterback first? All right, man, let's both meet there. So you got a TE over here again, and you just got a straight up butt whooping over here. And again, you see the aggressiveness that they play with. Those are some things. If you want to drop back and pass the ball as much as the Bengals do, you better be ready for this stuff. And I don't care what. This is 1st and 10, guys. This isn't like some third down. I get it. This is fourth quarter. But look, it's 24-21 right now. It's 1st and 10. Ball's on the 38. This is not a situation that it's like necessarily a pass down situation. You know, they got 2 timeouts. The Texans still have 1. You know, so the Texans still have a timeout. So this isn't like necessarily, I mean, they didn't, but yeah, I get it. It's 2 minutes, but I mean, that's going to happen when if you end up, dropping back, too much. But I would say this with the line being 9 points. So right now, I believe the betting line, the Jags are 9-point favorites. I haven't seen the Bengals be a 9-point underdog in a while. That seems like a lot, to be honest with you. I don't care how people think about the Bengals, but if the defense can show up and slow down and keep them off balance, Lou Anarumo does a good job with pressures, doing some exotic things that keep people off balance. If he can do that and continue to progress that with the Miles Murphys and get your normal guys, your Hubbards, your Hutch, your all those guys going, your Hendricksons, get those guys going and get those guys pushing up front to throw Trevor Lawrence off a little bit. That'll help your coverage out. Offensively, I mean, just tempo the game. If they can tempo the game and have the time of possession be a little bit better than it was last week, because I believe last week time of possession was like 37 to whatever, 30. It was really bad. 37. I don't know if they had 37 minutes or not. It was something like that. Anyway, I think Pittsburgh had like 37 minutes of time possession, which is a lot now. So if they can keep that from happening, so I think it was 37.5 to 22.5 or something like that. If they can keep that from happening, they'll have a chance. And I think, going down to Jacksonville, I've spent some time down there. It's going to be fun. So if you're a Bengals fan traveling down there, enjoy the city. There's a lot to do down there. Ask around if you don't know. There's a lot of microbreweries down there. If you're in those kind of things like Mad Tree and Ryan Geist out of Cincinnati, there's a lot of those kind of places down there. And other than that, y'all be safe. I will see you guys Tuesday. Even though the game's on Monday, we're still going to have a Tuesday show at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Recap of the Monday night game. And we'll see you guys then. Appreciate everybody joining us. And please like and share Chatterbox Sports. and like and share all of our videos. Follow me at Coach Kyle Caskey on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media, at Coach Kyle Caskey. We'll see you then.